Hello everyone, this is another heartbreaking treatment mission carried out within the deep forest in order to save the life of a poor elephant who has been suffering from severe pain. Imagine getting shot in one of your legs and being in pain for several days. Days pass, but no relief arrives, only the never-ending pulse of pain, the slowly but surely spread of sickness, and the horrible feeling of helplessness. Of course, you need aid. The same is true for this unfortunate species. This elephant has been limping around the village in severe pain for several weeks. A few villagers who have been involved in plantation work noticed this poor elephant going around the area in search of food. Fortunately, they were kind enough to notify the Wildlife Conservation Office about the occurrence. They informed the officials that anyone who approached the elephant to provide it with food or water was greeted with the injured elephant's anger. When the Wildlife Conservation Office received the information, they swiftly assembled a team of veterinarians and wildlife experts to look into the situation. Knowing the urgency, they gathered their equipment and began their way to the village where the elephant had been seen. The journey was more than just a kindness mission. It was also a race against time to relieve this gorgeous creature's pain. Upon arrival, the villagers guided the team to the location where the elephant was last seen. But the elephant was not at that location at that time. The poor beings have already moved toward the forest border. Once walking for several kilometers, the scene that came across the officers was heartbreaking. A gorgeous elephant with its leg wounded and swollen. The doctor stated that the elephant needed to be sedated before beginning treatment. They prepared the anesthetic drugs based on the elephant's expected body weight. They used a tranquilizer gun to dart the elephant. Dart was shot to the intramuscular area. The elephant was shocked by the dart shot and ran into the jungle in fear of being harmed. The elephant had fallen to the ground, sedated when the anesthetic drug came into effect.
स्कैन करला नहर दिला वाला टोक डाल बे नहीं आ रहा है कौन पार दे वहां पर
Now it is time for the treatment. Upon closer examination, the veterinary doctor assumed that the poor giant had been shot by someone angry over ruining their crops. Given the elephant's distant location in the middle of the forest officers took precautions to protect the safety of everyone involved. The veterinarian and colleagues were able to safely approach and treat the injured elephant after clearing the area and establishing a protective barrier around it. This kind of injury can be disastrous for the animal, which might harm its bones. When these giants are injured, they enter the forest carrying a bullet wound that causes devastating pain. Most of the time, they are not discovered until their condition weakens to a dangerous level. The gunshot wound may get infected over time, causing major swelling. The enlarged muscle gradually turns to calcification. This is the elephant's current state. Calcification occurs when calcium deposits develop in tissues, blood vessels, or organs, causing them to harden. Treatment for such disorders will vary based on the severity and location of the calcification. In this case, this being can be cured with the necessary medications, which the officials will be administering intramuscularly. With time running out, officials rushed quickly to administer life-saving treatment to the elephant, including antibiotics, multivitamins, and anti-inflammatory drugs. Asian elephants are frequently linked with forest environments. However, they prefer locations with both forest and human habitats, allowing them to feed on a wider range of food items. Like all elephant species, they spend much of the day feeding, since their massive body mass requires an equal amount of plant material to sustain itself. They eat a variety of plant leaves, fruit, and tree bark. Despite their innocence and biological importance, elephants frequently find themselves in conflict with human activity. That is why governments and other authorities have implemented strict laws against humans who harm these beings. The officers spray an antibiotic spray on the injection sites. Now, the revival drug was administered through the ear vein to revive the elephant from its sedative state, and a forest official was appointed to closely monitor the elephant's progress and ensure it received the appropriate follow-up medication. In conclusion, elephants are simply peaceful animals with simple needs of food, water, and space, but they continue to suffer due to human actions. Protecting them demands a collective involvement in protecting their habits and establishing harmonious connections between humans and the environment. That is the conclusion of this interesting mission. Thanks a lot for hanging on till the end.